Samuel was 8, Queeneth 10, when their world cracked open like an overripe pawpaw. Their father, a schoolteacher with a voice like radio waves and dreams bigger than the sky, died in a tragic bus accident on his way back from a teacher's conference in Owerri. Their mother, Mama Nkechi, became a shell of herself overnight. She worked tirelessly selling akra and pap at the junction every morning just to keep the children in school. "Education is the only inheritance we can afford," she'd say, her eyes heavy with grief but fierce with determination. Years passed. Queeneth grew into a brilliant, no-nonsense young woman. She loved mathematics and often helped neighbors with homework in exchange for jollof rice or sometimes just a smile. Samuel, on the other hand, was quiet, always scribbling in notebooks, dreaming of faraway lands, gadgets, and inventions. He had a knack for electronics. Once fixed an entire radio using nothing but a spoon and an old toothbrush. Life was tough, but they had each other until another blow came. Mama Nkechi collapsed one humid afternoon at her akra stand. Diagnosis: chronic kidney disease. Treatment: impossible. The siblings watched helplessly as the woman who raised them with grit and grace slowly slipped away. She passed 2 weeks later. At 17 and 15, Queeneth and Samuel were orphans. They were taken in by Uncle Pascal, their father's younger brother, who lived in Lagos. At first, it seemed like a fresh start, but it didn't take long for reality to kick in. Uncle Pascal treated them like burdens. Queeneth was made to hawk sachet water after school. Samuel worked as an apprentice in a phone repair shop. They were constantly reminded of their debt to him. But Queeneth had a plan. Late at night, after hawking, she'd sneak onto Uncle's old desktop computer to learn coding on free websites. She taught Samuel too. They watched YouTube videos on data science, artificial intelligence, and how to build mobile apps. It became their secret world, the only place they felt powerful. At 21, Queeneth entered a tech pitch competition with a health tech app she and Samuel built together, MediHelp Naija, which helped low-income families access subsidized medical support using AI-driven diagnostics. They didn't win, but they caught the attention of a tech investor from Kenya. She offered Queeneth an internship in Nairobi. Samuel stayed behind, continuing their work remotely, improving the app, writing code, late into the night. Queeneth thrived in Nairobi, learned from the best, networked, and grew bold. Within a year, she was pitching to global accelerators. They got seed funding. The siblings launched the app officially. In 5 years, it became a household name in West Africa. They were finally free, financially stable, emotionally grounded, and purpose-driven. One rainy evening, a strange man showed up at their Lagos office. "Is this the office of Queeneth and Samuel Okonkwo?" he asked in a voice that trembled like a drum with a torn skin. "Yes," Samuel said, confused. The man removed his cap, and there he stood, their father, alive. Queeneth collapsed into a chair. Apparently, he had survived the bus crash, but he suffered memory loss and was misidentified as dead. A good Samaritan took him to a remote village in Kogi State where he lived under a new name, working as a farmer. Years later, fragments of memory began returning. He wandered from village to village until he found someone who recognized the Okonkwo name in a newspaper article about the siblings' tech success. They brought him home, welcomed him, embraced him, but things weren't as simple as they seemed. 1 month after his return, Samuel noticed inconsistencies in his story. Dates didn't match. Details were off. A DNA test revealed the shocking truth. The man was not their father. He was an actor hired by Uncle Pascal. Why? Uncle had been trying to blackmail them. He'd heard about the funding and wanted a cut. He thought if he could guilt them into believing their long-lost father returned, he could slowly take control of their emotions and their money. Heartbroken but wiser, Queeneth and Samuel confronted Uncle Pascal and exposed the scam. It made the headlines. Despite the chaos, they didn't let bitterness take root. Instead, Queeneth and Samuel launched a foundation in their real parents' name, the Nkechi and Obinna Foundation, dedicated to funding education and health access for underprivileged Nigerian youth. Years later, Samuel gave a TED Talk titled "Orphaned but Not Broken." Queeneth became one of Forbes Africa's 30 under 30. And every year on their mother's birthday, they'd return to Enugu, place flowers at her grave, and whisper the same promise. We didn't just survive, Mama. We soared.